How to attract any woman with just these two powerful words. Be honest. How many times have you tried your hardest, thinking you were killing it, only to have the woman of your dreams barely notice your existence? Relax, you're not alone in this. Most men believe they need grand gestures, movie lines, or a magazine cover-worthy appearance. But the truth is entirely different. All of that loses its power when what truly matters is missing. A real connection. The mistake isn't even in what you do, but in how you focus more on impressing than on truly understanding what works. Now, think about this. You strike a pose, tell your best joke, or even dive into a philosophical chat, but she keeps scrolling on her phone or looking around. And then you wonder, where did I go wrong? Spoiler, it's not about what you say, it's about how you try to fill the space between you. The truth is, while you're busy trying to prove you're the guy, she doesn't feel that you are. And without that emotional spark, my friend, there's no point in having a Hollywood rom-com script in your head. The key to attracting any woman isn't to go crazy trying, but to create an environment where she feels like connecting with you. This doesn't mean you should diminish yourself or sit on the fence. It means being smart and intentional with your communication. It's like chess. Every move needs to be calculated, but without coming across as robotic or desperate. And here's the kicker. There's a simple way to change the game. Something so obvious, it flies under almost everyone's radar. Now, imagine if you could skip all the complications and get straight to the point with 2 words. That's right, just 2. Sounds crazy, but hang on, we're getting there. First, it's important to understand why that cliché, over-the-top approach simply doesn't work. Once you grasp this, everything starts to make sense. And trust me, things can be way simpler than you think. Words have an incredible power. They can change a moment, shift a perception, and even alter how someone feels. No, this isn't hypnosis talk or some magic trick. It's pure psychology. Think about phrases like, "you're amazing," or "it'll all work out." Simple, but capable of transforming your mood. With women, the principle is the same. Using words that resonate deeply and create an emotional reaction, even if subtle. These words don't need to be complex or cryptic. Their power lies in their simplicity and how you deliver them. It's like they're shortcuts to sparking her interest, almost effortlessly. For example, imagine you're at a bar or cafe and drop a simple but spot-on line. Suddenly, something as basic as a hi turns into a smooth, spark-filled conversation. It's not magic, it's strategy and timing. But here's the trick. It's not just about grabbing her attention. It's about creating a space where she wants to keep the conversation going. These words make her feel seen, valued, and intrigued, even on a subconscious level. That's the difference between being the nice guy and being the guy she wants to know more about. You don't have to be a psychology expert or a social genius to use this. You just need to understand how every word can have a clear purpose. The real secret of these words is that they activate something deeper, the desire to stay engaged, to keep talking to you. It's not a manipulation trick, but rather creating a setting where connection feels natural and authentic. That's the moment when the magic happens. Now's the big reveal. What are the 2 magic words that can transform your communication with women? Simple. Tell me. At first, it might seem ordinary, even basic, but that's where the genius lies. These words have a massive emotional impact because they offer something almost no one else does. Genuine attention. They make the other person feel valued, heard, and special. And honestly, how many guys do you know who really do that? Why does it work so well? Because it activates a powerful psychological trigger, the need to feel understood. When you say, "tell me," you're not just asking her to talk. You're showing genuine curiosity, giving her the space to shine, and making it clear that you genuinely care. This changes everything. And the best part, it works in any situation, whether it's a light-hearted flirt or a deeper conversation. It's not about having canned lines. It's about creating a real moment. Now picture this, you're at a party and you start chatting with an interesting woman. Instead of rattling off stories about yourself, you say something like, "What's the craziest thing you've ever done? Tell me more about it." Boom. You shift the focus to her, show that you're there to listen, and avoid the cliches that 99% of guys fall into. The secret is simple. Make her feel special. And let's be honest, who doesn't love that? Even more importantly, these words create a safe space where she feels comfortable being herself. And in a world full of shallow, put-on conversations, being the person who genuinely listens is a superpower. But here's the catch. What makes these words work isn't just what you say, but how you say it. Which brings us to the next point, how to use "tell me" authentically and confidently. Saying "tell me" isn't just throwing words out there. It's about how you deliver them. If you say it without really caring, you're just another generic guy pretending to be interested. But if you add intention, curiosity, and a touch of empathy, that's when the magic happens. This comes through in your tone of voice, your eye contact, and even your body language. Authenticity is what separates the boys from the men. Think of it as an energy exchange. When you use "tell me" genuinely, you're showing that you value what she thinks or feels. This attitude not only attracts her, but also encourages her to let her guard down. You create a connection that goes beyond casual conversation, and she senses she can be real with you. This kind of interaction isn't just rare, it's unforgettable. Let's put this into practice. Say she's talking about something important to her, like a hobby, a dream, or a challenge she's facing. Instead of changing the subject or talking about yourself, say, "Really? Tell me more about that." It seems simple, but the impact is huge. She feels like you genuinely want to know more, that the conversation is about her. And man, that's so attractive. One last reminder. Confidence isn't the same as arrogance. It's not about dominating the conversation or trying to impress her. It's about being comfortable in the moment and showing genuine interest. When you're fully present, she feels that. And it's that authenticity that turns two seemingly simple words into a powerful tool for building attraction and connection. Ready to take this into the real world? Let's get to the next steps. Knowing the theory is great, but the magic happens when you apply it in real life. Let's start with a classic scenario. You're at a bar, talking to an interesting woman. After some initial small talk, she mentions something personal like her hobby or a concert she recently attended. That's your cue. Tell me more about that. Simple but effective. Not only do you give her the space to talk, but you also show genuine interest in what she has to say. And guess what? That's rare. And what about texting? Easy. Imagine she mentions her dream of visiting Italy or says she spent the weekend reading an amazing book. Most guys would reply with a nice or cool, but not you. You'd say, "Really? Tell me what excites you most about Italy." This type of response turns a lukewarm conversation into something full of possibilities. You're not just keeping the chat alive, you're taking the connection to a deeper level. On a date, these words are even more powerful. Let's say she's talking about a personal project or something she's always wanted to do, like learning to surf. Instead of responding with, "Wow, that's awesome," you say, "That sounds really special to you. Tell me how that passion started." Here, you're not just validating what she said. You're showing that you're paying attention to the details. This is the moment when the conversation goes from ordinary to meaningful. And in social settings like parties or gatherings, simple. If she's talking about something everyone's discussing, like a popular TV show or a place she visited, ask, "What stood out to you about that? Tell me more." While everyone else stays on the surface, you dig deeper, and she realizes your conversations carry weight. The goal is to create a flow where she feels comfortable opening up. That's not just attractive, it's irresistible. What science says about "tell me"? Why does "tell me" work so well? The answer lies in our psychological wiring. The human brain craves connection and validation, and being heard triggers exactly that. When someone gives us space to share something, our brain releases oxytocin, the famous bonding hormone. It's as if these words are saying, "You matter," and that feeling of closeness is what creates bonds, whether in a friendship or in flirting. Another incredible thing is the effect of reciprocity. When you show genuine interest in what someone has to say, they feel a natural desire to reciprocate. In other words, as you show curiosity, she starts becoming more interested in you. This isn't manipulation, it's human nature. Most relationships operate on balanced exchanges, and "tell me" is the perfect trigger to start this emotional dance. Additionally, these words positively touch the ego. Everyone likes to feel important, and when you ask questions that invite someone to talk about themselves, it's like an indirect compliment. It's your way of saying, what you think and feel is worth hearing. And let's be real, that's a huge differentiator in a world where most conversations are shallow and full of distractions. Lastly, the impact goes beyond the conversation itself. "Tell me" creates emotional connection moments that she'll remember. These moments are like mental tattoos. She won't remember exactly what was said, but she will remember how she felt while talking to you. And that's how you leave your mark. But of course, not everything is perfect. In the next section, we'll talk about the most common mistakes that can ruin everything and how to avoid these missteps. Even with the powerful "tell me" in your arsenal, things can go terribly wrong if you don't know how to use it well. One of the most common missteps is coming off as mechanical, like a robot who memorized the phrase. If your body language and tone of voice don't match genuine interest, she'll instantly sense that you're just following a script, and you know what happens. The connection dies before it even begins. Authenticity is the key. Without it, don't even bother trying. Another classic mistake is cutting her off or changing the subject before she's finished. When you ask her to share something and then interrupt with your own story, what you're really saying is, "I just wanted an opening to talk about myself." For example, she starts telling you about a special trip and you respond with, "Oh, I've been there too." Boom, the moment is gone. Listen all the way through, show that you truly care, and let her have her moment to shine. Asking overly personal questions right at the start is also a mistake. "Tell me" is meant to open doors, not force intimacy. Asking intrusive questions before building trust makes her feel uncomfortable, and the conversation derails. It's like trying to jump from casual coffee talk to a deep confession in minutes. Take it slow, respect her boundaries, and let the connection grow naturally. Rushing it will only get in the way. Finally, avoid turning the conversation into an interrogation. Bombarding her with questions without sharing anything about yourself makes the interaction cold and dull. Attraction is a two-way street. Balance the moment by alternating between attentive listening and bringing something interesting or funny to the conversation. Show her that you're more than just a good listener. You're also someone worth getting to know. "Tell me" is powerful, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. Building a genuine connection isn't just about one magical phrase. It's about what you do after she starts opening up. Real attraction comes from small actions that show who you are and the space you create for her to be who she is. Each of her responses is an opportunity to react uniquely and make the moment count. The next step is keeping the conversation interesting and balanced. This means sharing your own stories that complement what she shared. For example, if she talks about a place she wants to visit, you could share something similar you've experienced without stealing the spotlight. It's like a game of ping pong. Each person takes their turn, but no one dominates the match. At this pace, conversations flow and connections grow deeper. But it's not just about what you say, it's about how you present yourself. Your energy, posture, and quiet confidence carry as much weight as your words. Imagine being the guy who makes her feel comfortable and, at the same time, intrigued. It's not about impressing her with wild stories, but about making her feel special in your presence. How you make her feel is what will stick in her memory. Lastly, remember that every interaction is a learning opportunity. Not every conversation will be memorable, but each one can teach you something about connecting better. Practice, adjust, and learn from the reactions you get. Tell me is a great starting point, but what truly makes the difference is you. Your authenticity, confidence, and ability to turn ordinary moments into unforgettable experiences. Now it's your turn to practice and discover the impact you can make. Imagine having the secret to making any woman fall head over heels for you. Yes, it's real, and it's within your reach with the obsession method. This revolutionary method promises something few can achieve, awakening a desire so deep and irresistible that she'll want to be by your side without hesitation. No complicated tricks, no drastic changes, just a set of precise techniques that naturally and powerfully ignite female desire. Think about what it would be like to know you can win over anyone without relying on luck or frustrating attempts. With the obsession method, you don't need to be the most handsome or the richest. All you need is access to the step-by-step process to create that intense, passionate connection. It's time to turn this promise into reality and join a select group of men who've discovered the true secret of attraction. Click the link below in the comments and start making this change now. Subscribe to the channel and check out the video playing on the screen to completely change the game with women once and for all.